Dawn breaks over the Savuti grasslands, Chobe National Park, Botswana, as pale yellow sunlight paints the herds of animals in the distance, signaling a new day. John Peterson closes the door of his patrol car, binoculars and anesthetic in hand, ready for the first rescue of the day. Dr. Mina Njeri, a Kenyan veterinarian, prepares a medical kit in a mini oxygen tank, her eyes shining with determination. They received a report of a lion cub that had fallen into an abandoned trap and was exhausted. When they arrived at the scene, John stopped the car a few meters away from the trap, using a flashlight to shine down to the bottom of the hole, about 2 meters deep. Through the blood-stained grass, Amina discovered the lion cub, about 6 months old, huddled, breathing heavily. Its fur was covered in mud, its skin scratched from its failed struggle. John gently lowered the rope into the hole, giving the lion cub a way out that it could grasp. Amina whispered reassuringly, "Calm down, I'll get you up." The lion cub looked up, its eyes sparkling with both fear and hope, and gradually placed its 2 legs on the rope. John slowly pulled the rope, Amina supporting it from behind to prevent it from falling as it got out of the hole. When the lion escaped the hole, it stood still and trembled, unable to move much. Amina checked its condition, cleaned the mud, and disinfected the scratches around its neck and front legs. She carefully bandaged its leg joints and wings, then gave it sips of diluted salt water to replenish its electrolytes. John pulled out the spare anesthesia tube just in case it panicked and attacked unintentionally. But the lion cub just looked at them with a blank look, as if it knew it was being helped. They named it Kiongozi, which means guide in Swahili. John and Amina took Kiongozi to a makeshift rescue station in the middle of a low-lying palm grove. At the station, Kiongozi was placed in a quiet room lined with dry leaves and warm towels to avoid the noise of other animals. The first night, Amina stayed up all night, monitoring Kiongozi's heart rate and body temperature. The next morning, in the weak sunlight, Kiongozi was more alert, moving his front legs slightly. John provided protein-rich food, and Amina supplemented him with vitamins to help him recover quickly. Over the next week, they monitored Kiongozi's recovery, recording his weight gain and mobility. As Kiongozi began to climb the small mounds around the station and could run and jump but still seemed not to be fully developed, the lion grew and learned to hunt under the care of the rangers. In the blink of an eye, 2 years had passed, and the cub had grown into a full-grown mane with shiny fur. A quick meeting was held with the reserve management team to choose a suitable release point. Early on the day of the release, there was no rain, and a gentle breeze was blowing across the vast golden grasslands. John placed Kiongozi on the grass by the edge of a dry stream, and Amina whispered, "Good luck, Kiongozi." The lion looked up at the 2 of them, his eyes seemingly grateful, then darted towards the nearby bushes. They stepped back, watching from a distance as Kiongozi disappeared into the misty palm trees. Sometime later, the reserve suffered a long heat wave, which seemed to last only 2 to 3 months. But by the 5th month, the drought continued to last, causing the stream to dry up completely, and there was not a drop of surface water left. This year's dry season was a record, and many wild creatures were parched. Suddenly, one day, the lion Kiongozi returned to the reserve. He stood in front of the door, pawing the ground as if he wanted to say something. Seeing something strange, Inspector John Peterson and female doctor Dr. Amina Njeri decided to follow him to see what was going on. They followed the lion as if they knew something, walking slowly ahead to lead the way. Through a deep crevice in the rock, John lit a flashlight and shined into the cave, and miraculously, a stream of underground water was trickling. Kiongozi stood at the mouth of the cave, growling softly as if welcoming the rescue team. Amina shouted, "Water! We found water!" The cool sound of dripping water echoed in the quiet space, bringing hope to the entire reserve. They put down the container, collecting each drop of sweet water flowing from the crevice. There was enough water for them to transfer back to the station, then use a hand pump to push it up to the reserve tank. In just a few hours, hundreds of liters of fresh water were stored, saving dozens of thirsty wild animals. Giant elephants, frightened antelopes, and primates all lined up to drink the cool water. Kiongozi quietly appeared among the animals like a silent hero. John hugged Amina happily, exclaiming, "That lion cub is really a hero." Amina's eyes sparkled, proud of Kiongozi and her belief in wild instincts. From then on, the water cave was named Kiongozi Cave, a symbol of hope and survival. The conservation team installed a system of pipes and small pumping stations to ensure an abundant water source. Thanks to Kiongozi, the reserve has overcome the most severe drought in history. The photos of Kiongozi leading the rescue team have spread around the world, inspiring the campaign to conserve African lions. The legend of Kiongozi is not only a story of saving a life, but also a lesson about the connection between humans and nature. As dusk falls again on Savuti, the red light shines on the mighty body of an old lion. John whispered, "Who knows how Kiongozi has led the adult pack?" Amina smiled and replied, "Survival is a shared journey, and sometimes miracles come from the smallest hearts." In the story of Kiongozi, the brave lion cub still echoes in the wind, reminding us to respect and protect the wild world.